Hello students, Department of Political Science. Myself Chandanjay Vasudha welcome you all for the credit-based subject Introduction to Constitution. In previous lecture we have learned about the right against exploitation under, under Articles 23 and 24. Now in this lecture we will move further and we will learn about right to freedom of religion, that is from Article 25 to 28. As we have already seen the unit second, we have done with right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation. Now we are going to learn about right to freedom of religion, after that cultural and educational rights, right to property, and right to constitutional remedies. So this is our unit and its right to freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28. So as we know, being a land of many religions, in tune with the philosophy of preamble of our constitution, as a secular state, the state has no religion and all religions are equal in the eye of law, as we know. Now these articles advocate citizens to profess, practice and propagate the religious practices and sentiments of their religion without hampering the right and sentiments of other religions. So people of every religions are free to establish and maintain any institute for religious and charitable purpose in accordance with the provisions of various law of the country. So this is in the article 25 to 28. So now we will go through the articles. So the first one is freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religions, which is in under Article 25. So this Article 25 says that all persons are equal, entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice and propagate religions. So there are some implications. So the first one is freedom of conscience, in which inner freedom of an individual to mold his relation with gods or creatures is whatever way he desires. The second is right to profess. So declaration of one's religion, belief and faith openly and freely. The third one is right to practice. Performance of religious worship, rituals, ceremonies and exhibition of belief and ideas. So this is the third one, the third implication. And the fourth and last one is right to propagate. So propagation, transmission and dissemination of one's religion belief to other, or exposition of the tenets of one's religion. But it does not include a right to convert another person forcefully to the other religion. So freedom of conscience guaranteed to all the persons alike. So it is clear that Article 25 covers not only the religion beliefs but also the religious practices. So moreover, these religions are available to all persons, citizens as well as the non-citizen. So these rights are subject to public order, morality, health and other provisions related to fundamental rights. So it states some premented. So the first premented is regulate or restrict any economic, financial, political or other secular activities associated with religious practices. And the second one, provide for social welfare and reform or through open Hindu religious institute of public character to all classes and the sections of Hindus. So this is in Article 25. After that, the next article, the Article 26, is freedom to manage religious affairs. So according to Article 26, every religious denomination or any of its section shall have the rights. The first right is right to establish and maintain institutions for religious and charitable purpose. The second is right to manage its own affair in matters of religion. The third one is right to own and acquire movable and immovable property. And the last one is right to administrate such property in adherence with law. So Article 25 guaranteed right to individual, while the Article 26 guarantees right of religions, denominations or their section. And in other words, Article 26 protects collective freedom of religions. Like the rights under Article 25, and the rights under 26 are also subject to public order, morality and health, but not subject to other provision related to fundamental rights. So, the Supreme Court held that the religious denomination must satisfy the three conditions. Now, which are these three conditions? The first condition is it should be a collection of individuals who have a system of beliefs which they regard as conductive to their spiritual well-being. The second condition is it should have a common organization, and the third one is it should be designated by the distinctive name. So under this, um, these are the three conditions of Supreme Court. So this is Article 26. So we will move further now. Article 27. So, freedom from payment taxes for promotion of any religion. This lays under the Article 27. So, Article 27 says that no person shall be compelled to pay any taxes for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religions or religion denomination. So, in other words, we will say that state shall not spend the public money collected by way to tax for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religions. So, this provision prohibits the state from favoring um, patriotism and supporting one religion over the other. This means that the taxes can be used for the promotion or maintenance of all religions. So this provision prohibits only leave of the tax and not a fee. This is because the purpose of the fee is to control secular administration of religious institute and not to promote or maintain religion. Thus, a fee can be levied on pilgrims to provide them some special service or safety measure, and similarly, a fee can be levied on religious endowments for meeting the regulations expenditures. So this is Article 27. After that, the last article of right to freedom of religions is Article 28. Freedom for attaining religious instruction or worship in certain educational institutes. So what is under the Article 28? So under Article 28, no religious institution shall be provided in any educational institute wholly maintained out of state funds. However, this provision shall not apply to an educational institute administered by the state but established under any endowment or trust, requiring imparting of religious instruction in such institute. So further, no person attending any educational institute recognized by the state or receiving aid out of the state funds shall be required to attain any religious instructions or worship in that institute without consent. In case of a minor, the consent of this guardian is needed. So the Article 28 distinguish between four type of educational institute. So the first one is institutions wholly maintained by the state. The second is institution administered by the state but established under any endowment or trust. The third one is institute recognized by the state. The fourth one is institution receiving aid from the state. So, in religious instruction is completely prohibited, while in religious institution is permitted in C and D. Religious instruction is permitted on a voluntary basis. So, This is about Article 25 to 28, which is right to freedom of religion. So we have done with the lecture about right to freedom of religion. Thank you all of you.